What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Informed Trader. My name is Chris. Every week on this channel, we talk about different investments and trading strategies to help increase your wealth. Just trying to give you the information you need to make the right trades, all right? I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Now, usually we talk about different stocks, ticker symbols, things like that. So this one's a little bit different because I do trade crypto as well. I'm a long-term investor, plus I like to trade contracts on the side. Today, I'm going to show you how to do that. Because if you're a person that especially likes to option trade, then trading Bitcoin contracts would definitely be for you. Okay, because it's super fast paced. You're talking about fluctuations. I mean, look at the chart here now. You're talking about $1,000 fluctuation in the last 2 hours, okay? So there is money to be made both shorting Bitcoin and going long on Bitcoin, okay? And as you know, options trading is over after Friday, and there's so much money to be made on the weekend with Bitcoin because it never shuts down that I just wanted to share you some of my strategies and how to be able to do it from your phone, okay? And that is with the app ByBit. Now, before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you go ahead and hit that like button and sub to the channel. We're growing on this channel, and I appreciate all the support thus far. If you don't want to miss a single video, go ahead and leave a like and sub to the channel. Thanks. Now, as I said, the app to use would be ByBit, okay? So what you're going to do is download ByBit. It is available on both the Apple Store and the Play Store. For me, I have an Android, so I am using the Play Store app. So you go ahead and download ByBit, and what you're going to do is you're going to sign up just like you would any other exchange, okay? They're going to ask for different information, put in your password, just set up an account just like you would with any other exchange. Now, the problem is when you go to log in, if you're in the United States, most likely you will get an error message saying that your IP address is not allowed for use, okay? And that's going to be a problem for US residents. So what you're going to have to do is download a VPN, okay? I use ExpressVPN. I went ahead and paid for the service. I'm sure there's different VPNs you can use out there. I use ExpressVPN, and it's really simple. All I would do is click this on button here, and I'm connected to another country's IP address, and that allows me to use the app. Now, you don't have to keep this on the entire time you're using the app, literally only for sign-in. Once you're signed in, you simply disconnect, and as you can see, no VPN on. I'm able to use the app just like normal, trade and whatnot, okay? So what you're going to do is download the app and go ahead and log in, get your VPN in place if you're in an IP spot where they don't accept your address. And after you get all set up, what you're going to have to do is transfer some Bitcoin to your wallet. Okay, so you can buy Bitcoin from Binance or Coinbase or any other popular exchange or whatever, and simply send your Bitcoin to your wallet on ByBit just like you would any other wallet, cold storage wallet, or exchange, okay? And once you do that, you're able to trade. There's two ways to trade Bitcoin on this app, okay? So you have inverse perpetual. So what inverse perpetual is trading with the Bitcoin versus the US dollar, okay? So all earnings are shown in US dollar, but you are actually earning Bitcoin, okay? And this is the strategy you want to use, especially in a bull market. You want to be earning Bitcoin so that you're also seeing the appreciating value of Bitcoin plus the value of your trades, okay? And then you have USDT perpetual, okay? That's dealing with the stable coin. You'll actually be earning the stable coin. And what a lot of traders like to do is use this method during a bear market so that, you're trading on Bitcoin, but you're earning USDT, so that way you're not depreciating in value what you earn plus the actual asset of Bitcoin, okay? Now, I'm not going to talk about inverse futures today. I'm just talking about trading Bitcoin itself and the contracts therein. So we talked about logging in, using a VPN, two different trading strategies. I will be dealing with inverse perpetual today. So you've already added Bitcoin to your wallet on ByBit. And so what you'll do is you'll go into Bitcoin. You can see the price here. Okay, so we've had massive sell-off. You say massive, but when you're dealing with stocks and stuff, this would be massive. As we can see, we're on a downward trend here, but we want to talk about trading. I'm not going to talk about how to read charts and things like that. You got to do that research on your own. Come up with your own trading strategy and entry points and things like that. But most likely, I would probably be looking at entering along here. But anyway, so hit the middle button here for a trade. Okay, so on this account, I have 0.0020 Bitcoin available to trade. Okay, so not much, around $100, okay? So you can trade with as little or as much as you want based on one factor, okay? So to go up here to the right top screen, and you'll notice this thing says 25 X. So go ahead and click on that. So this is leverage, okay? So what this leverage allows you to do is use more Bitcoin to trade than what you actually have. Think of it as trading on margin with Robinhood or on a different stock brokerage, okay? You can't lose any more money than what you put in, but depending on how much leverage you use will increase the amount of profit you earn in a small amount of price fluctuation, and it can also increase the amount you lose in a downward spike, okay? So most recommendations are between 5 to 10x, because it is more riskier. The more you can use up to 100x. So if you have 1 Bitcoin, you'd be trading with 100 Bitcoin, which is crazy because there's also liquidation prices, okay? So always use isolated leverage because that just locks in. You don't want to use cross margin where you're adjusting the rate of margin you use. That's very advanced, okay? So stick to isolated, and you want to set this in your comfort range. If you're beginning, you can use 1x, which is no leverage. But I like to use around 20, which you just get more bang for your buck, but it's up to your risk tolerance and things like that. So let's just find a happy medium here. We'll go with 15. Save that. And what's nice about ByBit is they always want confirmation for everything. Don't ever check mark the do not prompt confirmation because you always want to double check what you're doing in trade so you don't get wrecked, okay? So now that we got that, what you'll have on the right is you'll see the prices of Bitcoin. So that's what's nice when you're entering a trade. You can watch the price and the fluctuation and try to find your right entry point. Now there's 2 ways to enter a trade. You can do limit, which is the most recommended one. So if we're entering along, you're going to have to set a price that is below current market price. So in this case, I would probably set it for 58,601 if I want to enter a contract. And then here you're allowed to use, this shows you what percentage of a contract you're using, okay? And as we notice, Bitcoin's already come below my limit price, so I'd have to adjust. But for this demonstration, I'm not trying to enter a trade super fast. Okay, so you can set it to 50%. I like to trade with 100% of my Bitcoin just because I'm not actually using very much, so the more I can use, the better. But anyway, you'll see the order value is 0.0299 Bitcoin versus what I actually have available. And the way these contracts works is you'll notice in US dollar, 1 contract is equals to $1. So I'm actually dealing with 1,754 contracts, okay? So don't get tied up too much in the whole contract thing and what's actually going on. It can get confusing. So just, you're using 50% of your Bitcoin or 100% of your Bitcoin, okay? And you can buy along or sell short. So if you're anticipating the price to go down further, because you can have a couple different strategies. You can just do swing trades in the 15-minute intervals and try to make, 10, 20 bucks, or you can try to go for a long and try to find right at the bottom for $1,000 price change, right? So in this case, I'm going to buy a long. I'm looking at the chart here. There seems to be some major support at these levels. The downside doesn't seem too far. Now, I could be wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a long here. And I'm actually going to change my leverage because I actually want to stay in this trade for a little while. And I'm comfortable with using 25x, and I'll go through the process here. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and use a market order, okay? Market will get you right in at the price that it's at, okay? So you don't have to worry about trying to get your limit. And then I use this when I'm worried that my limit price isn't going to hit and I'm expecting a huge surge to the upside or downside. The reason you don't want to use market price too much is because the fees are higher for when you enter a trade, obviously, and it's harder to get in the green, so to say, versus a limit order. And you know that, especially closing out a buy or whatever. So we're hitting even lower lows here. I'm going to go ahead and look at the chart where it looked like we're on another downward candle here. Could be a major spike. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and enter this trade here, buy along. So you can set your stop loss and take profit, which is very important. I'm going to go ahead and set my stop loss for 5%. No, I don't. I'd like lower, 15% to 25%. I'd like my Bitcoin to have some room to run, and we know that the fluctuations are in there. Now, important thing to notice is down here, it says estimated liquidation price, okay, in the yellow number. If Bitcoin hits $56,612 and I didn't have a stop loss before that set, I will lose all my Bitcoin in my account. See, that's the kind of the risk versus reward when it comes to using leverage, okay? Because the higher leverage you use, the higher this liquidation price will be, which is why you need to be careful. So you just want to make sure your stop loss is always above that liquidation price so you don't ever lose all your Bitcoin like that. And then you can set your take profit. If I'm actively trading, I'm not going to use a take profit. And obviously they give you suggestions, but you can manually type in what price you want to take profit at. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and back out here, see what Bitcoin's doing. We've already come back. Here we go on this down spike. This is about where I want to enter. So I'm going to buy along. I'm going to have to re-enter this trade here. Here we go. Okay, so stop loss. I'm going to go with 15%. I'm not going to set it to take profit at any time, and confirm, and well, the price is fluctuating. Oh, look at that. Look at that price drop. See, we're coming to a lower low here, but I'm going to go ahead and enter with a full trade just for demonstration purposes. I'm not going to bet that it keeps going down. Okay, there we go. We're in the trade. I set a 15% stop loss. And then, as you can see here, if you click on your positions, you can see how you're doing. And as you see, the unrealized profit and loss percentage. I'm already down $6, $7. It's continuing to go down. I may get stopped out of this trade, but that's for example purposes, okay? So that's why you have stop losses set. So my stop loss is at 15%. So if it hits that, $58,104.50, I'll get stopped out of the trade, okay? And this is how quickly you can make money or lose money. So I may have had a bad entry price, and maybe I should have gone short, but this is a good example of how you can lose a lot of money too. There's a lot of risk in this. Side note, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So hopefully this is a good example, and you can adjust your stop loss. That's what I wanted to say as well. So if you're in the profit, let's say the price keeps going up, and I maybe am positive $10, you can go ahead and set your stop loss so that you'll never be in the red. You can just keep adjusting aggressively to make sure that you're securing your profit, and that's very important to do. Don't get greedy. You know, don't just assume that it's going to keep going up. Go ahead and lock in your profits, or you can just do a take profit at whatever price you want, 25%, 10%, and it gives you those prices. So the app is super convenient to use. I love using ByBit, and I believe it's a very great app, especially for beginners. And you can use the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, the 4-hour chart, just to give you an idea of what's going on in the market. And like I said, you can do this on the weekend. You can get up early in the morning, study the charts, watch some YouTube videos on how people read, price analysis, things like that. And just remember as well, you can make money betting the price to go down of Bitcoin, all right? So if you had entered a trade up here, you have made a lot of Bitcoin on the way down right here off this huge sell-off. So I just want you to know that entering a long and entering a short are the same exact process, okay? You would just enter a short by pushing sell short. Actually, enter your contract quality. Let's say if it was market share or whatever, and then sell short, okay? And then this is showing that you want to enter a market short real quick, saying that you're betting the price to go down, and it works the same exact way as a contract with a long does, okay? As you can see, I'm negative $6. I like how it gives you the dollar amount, so you can see you generally want to deal in percentages because you're earning Bitcoin, but giving that dollar amount lets you know what you're losing, what you're gaining. So let me know, guys, if you have any questions on this. I can cover some more in future videos. This is a little bit different, but I wanted to show you from a mobile phone because there's not too many tutorials out there, okay? And that's the basics of ByBit, okay? That's the important things you need to know when it comes to trading on ByBit. How to enter a trade. You can. One thing I can do with this trade, remember this, is that I can always get out right away, okay? So I can go to right here, you'll notice I can close my buy on the right hand bottom here. You can close buy, which means that you're like, I'm getting out now, I want to take my profit or take my loss. Now notice it'll always be a little more pricier to do it that way, but you can. All right, so notice I'm coming up now. I'm only negative 44 cents. We stayed in the trade. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. And like I said, it's very important to not just trade. You need to go ahead and review, learn how to read Bitcoin charts. It's much more complicated than stocks, all right? And news does affect Bitcoin, but not as daily as stocks information does. You know what I mean? So I should be green by now. So look, I've made $1.37. We waited long enough. Oh, back down negative. So Bitcoin fluctuates so fast, okay? And that's what I love about it. There's a lot of room. So if you're dealing with more than $100 worth of Bitcoin, your losses will be more exponential, and so will your gains. That dollar I was positive would have probably been $10 if, I was dealing with $500. You know what I mean? So the more money you deal with, this with options, buying contracts and stuff, the more money you put up, the more risk there is for loss, and also more potential for gain. So like I said, drop me a like and subscribe if you want more tutorials. You can do this with Ethereum, EOS, and XRP when it comes to USD. And then in the inverse perpetual, you have more coins you can deal with. You can deal with DOT, Cardano, Uniswap, all that good stuff, Link. So there's a lot of potential out there. I would go ahead and download ByBit if you haven't. Get a VPN, start using it. I mean, this is good exercise for trading and learning discipline and control, getting your emotions out of it. All right, guys, so it's been about an hour here, and for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get out of a trade to close out in the green. As you know, I entered down here around $58,300. It is now $58,669. It's fluctuated as much as almost to 800 here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to close out of a trade. You got to know when you want to take your profits. So $10 profit, as you can see here, if I were to close out now. And that's pretty good for, you know, a $100 investment, a little under $100 investment, okay? So 8% gain overall. If you want to set, you know, you want a 10% gain at least, you could wait it out. But what you don't want to do is get greedy. So my stop loss is still set to the original amount at 58,100 with a 15% loss. So the best way I believe to close out a trade is what you want to do is watch the price here. So up here in the middle figure, top you have your entry price. So I was actually entered at 58,453. You got your liquidation price on the bottom, but the market price is what you want to watch. So you go ahead and adjust your stop loss. So I'll go ahead and put it to $58,660. So if Bitcoin comes below that price, well, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this to 55 and go ahead and confirm. So, oh, nope, it's dropping fast. So we got to go ahead and set this to 625. So I'm losing profit, obviously, but I just want to show you how to close out of a trade. So if Bitcoin comes below $58,625, then it'll automatically cash out, and I'll take my profits, okay? So we'll sit here and watch this a little bit. We'll see what it does. It's probably just going to go ahead and rebound. But then, again, you can just adjust your stop loss, okay? So just know when to take your profits. You know, you don't want to see Bitcoin jump up $100, $200, $300, and then you never adjust your stop loss, and then it goes ahead and heads into the negative. Okay, you don't want to do that. That's the most frustrating thing about trading Bitcoin is you can't be too greedy. You want to know when to take your profits, when to make the right moves, okay? You don't want to get too greedy in doing this. You'll lose a lot of money, and I have, okay? I have lost a lot of money doing this. I also there it goes. Market order filled. Okay, so went ahead and exited my contract there. I left with around $8 in profit, and that is the ins and out of entering a trade. We entered a trade on a market order, and we left on a stop loss order. And obviously, Bitcoin could go back up from here, but I made $8 in Bitcoin, and you know that was within like an hour. Just a simple trade. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. You're on The Informed Trader. Drop any questions below in the comments. I'll be happy to make a tutorial or answer what I can in the comments by replying. My name is Chris, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.